What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What You Gonna Watch. And today, the Lucky Box has picked out the 100. So, first, let's talk rating. Of course, this is a 10 out of 10. Yeah, man, I guarantee you a lot of people have either seen it or heard of this show. You know, it's a really good show. So, there are 7 seasons, and I'm on season 6, episode 9 right now. So, yeah. Anyways, wow, it's a really good show. There's definitely a lot of plot twists in there. So if you guys haven't seen this show, you definitely 100% have to check it out on your own. So yeah. So pretty much there are these kids, which, by the way, I don't know if it's just me or other people, but whenever I watch a show, right, and there's a person in this show, right, and then I see another show and it's the same person, right, but let's say in one show their name is John, and another show their name is Ben, right? Instead of calling them Ben in that show, I would still call them John because that was the first name that I knew them by. Also, learning people's real names, from a show name, and then learning their real names, their real names are very hard for me to remember. So out of all of the shows I've seen and all of the names I've learned, I don't really know that much names. So, yeah. Anyways, it all starts with, Clark and Bellamy and Octavia, and can't remember his name or any other names. But, they have to go down to Earth to see if it's survivable. Which, of course, they were up in space for a long time, so when they come down, it's survivable for them, but they soon learn that, they will eventually learn that it's only suitable for them because how long they've been, in space. And they learn that it is not suitable for humans, unless you're wearing a hazmat suit. Something to protect you from the radiation. So, yeah. So, they come down, they also have these bracelets on them, which, lets the Ark know that they are still alive and all that stuff. And, they start taking off their bracelets, and, they think that their kids are dying. So, yeah, and, Clark tries to hold out for the longest, but, I think it's Bellamy ends up taking it off, or convinces someone to take it off or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, and then Abby, her mother, thinks that it's taken off, and yeah, and also her friend for a long time, I can't remember his name, but he died in season 1. But yeah, Clark thought that he told on her dad and got him floated, but really it was her mother, and she didn't know that. And I don't think she realized it until after he died. So yeah, and then she hated her mother for a while. They made up. They were all good. Everything was pretty much good. They also realized that they weren't alone on the Earth. There were grounders on the Earth too, and all that stuff. And they took a spear and they threw it right through Jasper. Yeah, he survived. But yeah, and then they, made camp around the Ark, whatever, and all that stuff. They survived for quite a long time, and then, the people from the Ark ended up coming down, which I'd say it was a whole lot better when they were still up in the Ark, because I feel like, the people, they had to kill 300 people. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. They were running out of air support. They're running out of air up there, which is why they had to send them down to see if it was livable or not, and which it was. And someone named Raven went down there, and she was gonna radio back up, saying that it was safe and all that stuff, so that way they could all come down. But Bellamy decided that he didn't want that he wanted them to think they were dead and all that stuff, and he took the radio, and he threw it in the water. Yeah. not one of his good moments. But yeah, he threw it in the water, and they ended up, people volunteered to go in a room, and they were cutting oxygen off there, so yeah, they all died. 300 people died because Bellamy threw the radio into the water. So yeah, anyways, they ended up finding it, tried to fix it. They were definitely way too late for that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they got in touch with the Ark eventually. So yeah, they had to use their bracelets, which I'm fairly sure that the reason Clark took hers off was to help Monty fix the radio so they could get in touch with them. And Abby thought that she was dead, which she also agreed, not only to help him, but also because it would, make her mother feel awful, because, she still hated her at the time for floating her dad. So yeah. And with everyone down on the ground, they end up almost pretty much starting a war, sorta. Yeah. And then, well, everyone pretty much says that Bellamy and Clark and Bellamy should be the leaders of the 100. Technically, it was more like 98 when they first got there, because someone unbuckled their seatbelt as they were falling down, and they died. So yeah, it was pretty much 98 when they first landed. So yeah. But everyone decided that it would be best if Bellamy and Clark were the leaders. So they were nominated. So yeah. Anyways, they went to Mount Weather eventually, where they went to Mount Weather. Okay, yes, but it wasn't in the circumstances that they wanted, and it was really bad. I'm leaving out so many details right now. So, they were grounders, and I'm pretty sure they were called. I know they were called grounders, and Sky Crew is what the 100 were called, and all that stuff. So yeah. But I'm not sure if they went there with Lexa, who is the leader of the grounders. Pretty sure, yeah. Also, Octavia ended up falling in love with one of the grounders as well, Lincoln. But trying to remember his name, either Pineapple. His name starts with P. He ended up killing Lincoln. Yeah, and Octavia pretty much fell from there. Like later on, okay, she became Blood Reina, right? And yeah, it was a pretty bad time, because they had 6 months until the world would become unsurvivable, right? And there was a bunker that could hold the entire Sky Crew, everyone from the Ark and everyone already on the ground. But everyone wanted to survive, so they decided to do a thing where they put in, I think, one person from every group. There's Sky Crew, Tree Crew, a lot of people. Of course, Sky Crew won. Yeah, and in the one of the people from one of the other crews, King, something like that. One person from his team decided, let's cheat. Sorry about that. It said let's cheat, and didn't go so well. She got caught. She also got banished from there. So yeah, it wasn't so good. But anyways, it was Octavia who won, and she decided that not only was her crew going to go under there, but all of the crews. So I'm pretty sure they had decided like 100 each. They could only let 100 of each crew live there, which was not good. They didn't really like Octavia that much for that, because they had to send most of their people back out there. So yeah. Anyways, some things went down. So they had food, they had a thing, and it was running out, right? So and Octavia did this thing where it was they were one crew, not one crew. One crew starts with a W, I think. So yeah. Anyways, and she said, like, you are one crew or you the enemy of one crew, choose. She killed about 15 people, maybe even 20. And yeah, she became Blood Arena. And whenever you did something bad or something like that, they would go in a pit. It was the first time they went in a pit, and they had to kill each other. You had to kill to survive. And the person who died, they ate them. But Marcus, one of the people there, didn't like it. He didn't agree with anything. So he didn't eat the person. So a few people didn't eat him as well. And he walked over to someone, or Octavia walked over to them and asked him why he's not eating. And one of the guys said because he was his brother, So yeah, and he didn't want to eat him. And she pointed a gun at him and she said, "Eat it." He didn't eat it. She shot him. She did that to about 3-4 other people. She killed she was crying too, by the way, and she killed maybe 5 people. And then Marcus ate a piece of the guy, and so did everyone else. So yeah, it just went downhill from there. I'm pretty sure there was 600 people in there, and by the time they were left, there was 400 people left in there, maybe 500. I don't know. So yeah, she killed over 100 people in there. So yeah, it was pretty bad. Not so good. I am really jumping around. Alright, we're about to jump around again. But eventually, so what they have to go to space, right? Because the world is going to be unlivable. So the rest are in the bunker, and Clark, Bellamy, Raven, what's his name? John, and Amori and all that stuff. They were going to go to space, and so they had a thing, and Clark had to go to some tower to, do something to allow them to go to space or something like that. Oh no, it would give the Ark, power, so they could actually open the doors and get in. And here's the thing. So they made it up to space, right? But the thing is, they had to leave Clark behind because she didn't do it in time, and they had to go because it was spreading fast. Yeah. So they left Clark behind. They went up. They got to the Ark, and the power was not on. And she was getting there and all that stuff. Eventually, it worked though. But she was stuck down there. So she hid out somewhere. I'm pretty sure she hid out in that one thing. And yeah. She also found a kid too. Named. I'm pretty sure her name was Maddie, but that one person I told you died in season 1, who let Clark think that he got her father floated. His name was Wells. So, yeah. Anyways, she finds a kid who is a black blood, She was also black blood because they thought the only way to survive was to make everyone that. So, yeah, she was one of those. She also was thinking about becoming commander because Rolexa was the commander before, she died. But yeah. Anyways, the point is, Maddie ended up becoming commander because she was an actual black blood, original black blood and all that stuff. So yeah. Eventually, they all go to space for something because the world's unlivable. I can't exactly remember why, but they all go into stasis. They were supposed to get woken up in 100 years. But about a few hundred years later, they get woken up, or at least Clark and Bellamy does. They get woken up by someone, and Monty and his girlfriend, Harper, decide to stay awake. They end up getting pregnant and having a boy named George. And so, they end up dying of old age and all that stuff. And Monty gave his son, George, orders to wake up Clark and Bellamy and all that stuff. And, eventually did, he did when he was told to. Monty gave him orders to wake them up at some point, and he did. So yeah, eventually there were 2 moons or something like that. So yeah, and when one of the moons, the red moon, came out, it made everyone very bad. They almost killed each other. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys want another part of this, I will give it to you, but I'm just gonna do the description right now because it's already about 15 minutes long. Longest one yet. Here we go. When nuclear Armageddon destroys civilian on Earth. The only survivors are those on the 12 international space stations in orbit at the time. 3 generations later, the 4,000 survivors living on a space ark of linked stations see their resources dwindle and face, I don't know what it says, draconation? Measures established to ensure humanity's future. Desperately looking for a solution, the Ark's leader sent 100 juvenile prisoners back to the planet to test its habitability. Whatever that. I know what it says. Can't pronounce it. Having always lived in space, the exiles found the planet fascinating and terrifying. But with the fate of the human race in their hands, they must forge a path into the unknown. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen the 100, definitely watch it. Like, really watch it. But yeah, it is available on Netflix, YouTube, Google Play Movies and TV, iTunes Video, and Amazon Prime Video. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of it. Also, Alexa died since season 1, by the way. A lot of people die. Out of the 100, there might be like more than 50 left. I don't really know. I didn't count. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or show suggestions, then leave a voice message. This is a long episode yet. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.